When it comes to organizing, nothing is better than free. Today I'm going to show you how to take the simplest box and turn it into the most amazing organizer that you can use anywhere in the home. Let's go. Hello, welcome back to the Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Eppley, and on this channel I love bringing you ways to organize, declutter, do DIYs, upcycles, and anything crafty on a budget. Up until last year when I got married, I had been a single mom on a very tight budget for over 14 years. And even before that, I had always found it a little bit difficult to get from paycheck to paycheck. So I have always looked for frugal ways to make my dollar last, whether that meant creating something that I wanted, upcycling another item, or even taking somebody's discarded trash and turning it into something that was useful to me. Today is no exception. I had seen this a long time ago, and it really is the simplest, quickest idea. So I'm going to go over how to do this. Decorating it is optional, but if you're just looking for a quick storage idea in any part of your home, then this is really going to help you out. We're going to start with any lidded box. I'm using a See's Candy one because I just had this left over from Valentine's Day. But any lidded box that preferably has the same depth in the lid as the base is what we're using for this project. You want to cover the lid completely. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this contact paper around. I'm notching out the corners. If you have a different technique to cover these, please do so. And if you don't have any desire to cover your box, you can skip ahead to the timestamp below just to get to the amazing secret on how to use these for storage. But I'm going to go ahead and cover mine. Once the top is done, we're going to move on to the bottom piece, and I'm going to cut out just a square to lay on the inside because you want the bottom portion of this box covered as much as possible on the inside and the four sides. And it won't make sense until I show you the quick secret, and I'm holding off on that because it's going to blow your mind. For the sides, just to make it easy, I'm just cutting a strip that is double the height of the box. And this way I can go to each side and cut a section and fold it over. I hope that makes sense. But I cut this down to just fit one side. I'm fitting it inside and folding it over. And if there's a little excess, you won't even be able to tell. I'm going to repeat this for all four sides, just cutting it down enough to fit on the inside. And if you choose to decoupage this, you can do so. You can wrap it in wrapping paper, you could paint these, or as I've said, you can leave them plain. Once all four sides are done, that's when the magic happens with this idea. But before I show you that, I wanted to share something I recently learned on Facebook that I think will really help you out. For those of you who use closed captioning, either because it's hard to understand people or if you just like reading along, maybe you don't want to hear them and you've got music playing. Sometimes the closed captioning is hard to see. So go into where your closed captioning gets turned on and off, where you choose the language that you want, and select the options in the upper right corner. From here, you can choose the percentage that your font is shown in on your screen. Another thing you can do going back in under options is you can choose the background color of the box, and you can choose the color of the font, which again, based on your needs, if you're having a hard time seeing something, this can really change the way you see your closed captioning. You can also change the opacity of how dark things are, how light things are, and this is the one that surprised me the most. You can play around with the actual font. So if a particular font is easier for you to read, you can play with all of these settings to make the closed captioning absolutely work for how you can see it the best. Hopefully this is a useful tool for you because I was having such a hard time reading things on my screen, especially when I'm on my computer, and having the ability to make the font larger is going to be so helpful to me. I oftentimes watch YouTube when everybody else is sleeping and I don't want the speakers on. This allows me to make it nice and big. I can read along and not have to wake anybody up. So hopefully you found this useful as well. Now let's get back into the box. So this is where it's going to become mind-blowing. take a marker that you can wipe off or that gets kind of hidden in your design and find the halfway mark on your box. You're going to want to do this at the bottom of the box and on the sides. And here's why. Once you have it sectioned off, you're going to start cutting this. And unless it was a very stiff box, this should work with a simple pair of scissors or with the utility knife. Now, are you ready? You're going to take that box and you're going to put it in opposite directions. So you now just created a 2-partitioned box. But if you want more, cut it down the center again, going the other direction. Cut these into quarters, and you have now got the most amazing organizer to separate all those little small pieces. And you could make several of these and put them inside of a drawer or inside of a container and completely organize all of your things. Once I made this little box, I was so inspired, I went ahead and covered a notepad I had and a little cup that I had from gum, just so I had a little coordinated set on my desk. I absolutely love this idea for storage. I think this can be out on display if you cover it, or you could organize so many things inside of a drawer or inside of a storage box to break down all of those little sections, and it was an item that was going in the trash. So again, on these, you could break it into 2 sides or 4 sides. I don't recommend cutting it down more than that because you would lose the structure of the corners. But let me know what you think of this idea. The first time I saw it was many years ago, and my mouth dropped because it was such a simple idea. And many of us use the lids and the bottom of boxes, but I know I had never thought of partitioning it out just by cutting it into quarters. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I have the most exciting news ever. And if you're a patron, you already know what I'm going to say. But for the rest of you, I can't even tell you. I'm going to be doing a short in a couple of days, so make sure you have hit that subscribe button so you can hear my super exciting news. But the next main video is going to be making that cover for the power strip that sits inside of my bookcase. So again, make sure you're subscribed. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing this with others, and thank you so much to my patrons who allow me to make these videos. I will see you guys in just a few days. Bye.